Massachusetts State Gemstone. Rhodonite. Okay then, Indiana State Flower. Peony. Fuck. Okay, it's your turn. Connecticut State Cannibal. What? There's no such thing as a state cannibal. Ron, Tyree Lincoln Smith. Bullshit, you're making this up. It's not my fault you don't know your state cannibals. Again, there's no such thing as a state cannibal. Oh yes there is. I'll prove it. Barney, Florida State Cannibal. Rudy Eugene. I can list all 50, in no particular order. California, George Donner. Tennessee, Gregory Hale. Indiana, Joseph Albert Oberhansley. Enough. I give in. You're such an asshole. What are you getting so mad about? The way you act. You're so selfish and insensitive. And what about your job? Why does a personal trainer drink so much? Look at that belly. I'm a triceratops. This is how we're built. So the dozen or so beers you guzzle every night have nothing to do with it. And how many Lucky Strikes do you smoke in a day? What about them? Where can you even get unfiltered cigarettes nowadays? Back in the 80s, I saw that Big Brother was going to take away my unfiltered Lucky Strikes, so I rented a series of storage lockers. You know, they're still available to this very day. Not for long. You've been saying that for nearly 40 years. Good God, how old are you? I'll never say, but I planned ahead and I socked away enough Lucky Strikes to get me through to 2053. With your lifestyle, you're never going to live to see the year 2053. You smoke at least 2 packs a day, you drink to excess every single night, and your diet. You don't like the way I eat either? Pizza is not a hamburger topping, and when you put French fries on a salad, it's no longer a salad. All of that's my own business. Yes, exactly. It's your business. You're a personal trainer. Your business is health and fitness. But you live like one of the more debauched Roman emperors. No, I don't think even Suetonius saw the likes of you. My personal habits have never gotten in the way of my work. That's because you don't do anything. I've talked to your clients. You show up at their house, eat every scrap of bacon in the place, crack open a beer, and then berate, bully, and bark orders. Yes, the 3 B's of fitness. But shouldn't a trainer embody health and fitness? When those aspiring to be fit look to their trainer, they should see those aspirations in the flesh. A guy who's healthy, lithe, and toned, not a fat emphysemic bully spiraling into alcoholism. My clients know what they want to achieve, and if they need a representation, popular culture has provided many ideals they can strive for. Didn't Burt Reynolds take off his shirt in Deliverance? And for helpful depictions of the female form, there are so many calendars. Females can schedule their workouts with daily reminders of how they should look right before their eyes. The media is full of unrealistic and unattainable depictions of the female body, and you have no idea how hurtful that can be. When dinos who are out of shape hire a trainer, they want a friend who's achieved what they're aiming for. They want somebody in real life they can look up to. I am a figure of veneration. My clients look up to me to draw inspiration, but for my moral qualities, not my physical attributes. What moral qualities? You're mean and selfish and pushy. Yes, exactly. I may be a stern taskmaster, but that's just what these cream puffs need. I push them beyond their limits, and I take no account of their pleading and wailing and cries for mercy. I provide the willpower they sorely lack. It doesn't take willpower to sit on the couch and watch Three's Company while you make some poor sap do sit-ups until he has an accident. There are some who wish to exercise and become fit, and I help them attain that goal. For myself, I've chosen a different path. You're a total fraud. You have no willpower. You couldn't do 1/10 of what you put your poor clients through. I could do every bit of it and more. I simply choose not to. All right, prove it. The Boston Marathon's coming up, and I want you to enter. You should enter and win this thing just to shut her up. And you don't have any outstanding warrants in Massachusetts. Win? Are you kidding? I don't think somebody who's been banned from Golden Corral can make the first 100 yards. Did you hear? Simon's entered the Boston Marathon. I thought he never set foot in blue states. It seems he's making an exception. For 3 wonderful days, he'll be Beantown's problem. The Boston Marathon, Is he mad? He uses a mobility scooter to get around Chuck E. Cheese. I know. Isn't it great? You're pleased? Yes. Wally's making the trip to cover this run for the Globe. Our Globe, not theirs. And he's bringing a camcorder. I think you should carry the tape at the Betamax. It might be a big item. You think folks will want to see it? To see Simon gasping and wheezing and staggering and falling on his face? Of course. He might even vomit. That seems kind of mean. Well, Payback's a bitch. He's been really mean for a very long time. And nothing sweetens a disposition like failure and humiliation. You're not going to make me feel bad about this. And if he makes a fool of himself and his personal training career is ruined, what then? He'll just have to do something else. Precisely. Right now, only those who choose to endure Simon need to have anything to do with them. Those who hire him as their personal trainer, or who hang out with him at the pheasant plucker. But if he has to get a real job, you'll find that you have to deal with him at the post office or the DMV. I hadn't thought of that, but I still want to see him go belly up in front of the whole greater Boston MSA. So is Simon training for the marathon? He is. He and Barney disappeared somewhere and nobody's been able to track them down. Helen did spot him at the old quarry where he was swimming laps. Isn't that place a death trap? The entrance is sealed off and there's a big sign with a skull and crossbones. It is, but Simon's physically incapable of sinking in water. He's like a beach ball with stubby legs and horns. Well, paddling around a corpse pond doesn't sound like very good training. Is he doing anything else? Yes, he was running around the cinder track at the middle school, but the kids spotted him. They gathered in large numbers and threw rocks, so he moved on. I never saw him run, but I examined the track, and from the size and almost unbelievable depth of the footprints, it was definitely him. And from the many gouges, it's clear he fell down a lot. I pictured him staggering through the streets while bystanders laughed and pointed, and then he dragged himself up the steps of the Philadelphia Art Museum, but collapsed in a heap before reaching the top. We don't have anything like that in Reason. There's the very tall curb in front of the Quiznos, but everybody just uses the ramp. You can't hide at the event itself. We're throwing a viewing party at the Pheasant Plucker. Is there a cover? Admission's free if you subscribe to the Reason Globe for a year. Myself, I'd rather just slap down $25. So you were there throughout. Yes, as a member of the press, I was invited to look on during the preparations. As many runners do, Simon decided to load up on carbs before the race, and being in Boston, he decided on New England clam chowder. I don't think anybody should consume that many clams in one sitting, but he did stock up on a huge reserve of carbohydrates. Let's play the tape. Okay, here goes. This is the starting line. They're all so lean and graceful, like gazelles. Simon's somewhere in the middle. That one fellow just jumped. He must have backed into a horn. And they're off. Oh, now I see him. They're streaming away and leaving him behind. It's like the wheat separating from the chaff, if the chaff was the valuable part. As you see, he's waddling along. I can't believe I paid to see this. It looks like he's hit the wall already. From this point on, there's a great many bodily fluids, some of which have yet to be identified. He's down, and he's up again, and down, and up, and down, and up. How much more of this is there? I filled 3 whole tapes before I realized I was about to blow a fortune on blank cassettes. After that, I stopped filming and waited for him to finally collapse and be rushed to an emergency room. Can we just fast forward to that part? He kept falling down and he kept getting back up. He got to the last 100 yards and I started filming again. Oh, gross. It's pretty disturbing, but keep watching. And he's over the finish line. Where'd everybody go? Oh, they all left. It was the longest finishing time in the entire history of the Boston Marathon, but he did finish.